So here we have another Amir mission, 5-star Insane, playing on for Black Site. Again, he has the situational awareness, orbital surveillance, and laser. Carbine, as always, with resourcefulness, explosive rounds, and lead poisoning, as well as the SMG for holster helper and weakness exploitation, being the two key parts required to make that work best, in my opinion. Again, you want shock grenades and thumper, or whatever you work with. I find shock grenades to be the best overall, as shock grenades do give you the best chance of getting flatbacks turned over on their side, as well as giving you breathing room dependent on how well the game goes for you, basically. Essentially, they give you breathing room if you want to chuck down too quickly for healing. They throw the flatbacks onto their back the majority of the time. I have noticed that with flatbacks that they don't, if you've only just knocked them on their back, they do seem to have a bit of a cooldown between when they can be knocked over again. But I suppose that's just how they've coded the game. Because it's 5-star, I will be going around to different objectives throughout in order to try and just get quick ones. Things like traps I typically don't do because they take longer than I want them to. You can do them, but they're slow for what they're worth. They were only worth 28 points, I believe. I actually don't know now that I think about it, because I don't do them that infrequently. But I'm pretty sure, because they're in a green zone, they're only worth 28 points. And it's not worth it. It's not worth the effort of making sure that they fall into the traps, because the dinos typically, they don't just do what you want them to do. So what I'm doing is I'm marking them and then running through them before deciding what to do, because the AI on the dinosaurs is not that great that they will hit you if you just sprint past them, and so that gives you a chance just to settle yourself and work out exactly what it is you want to be doing. So if it is fighting or if it is running, like, you have both options available to you if you just set yourself first. As far as doing this egg event, there is a more optimal spot to put your carrier, which is where I'm about to put it, because there's always one spot that will have 4 eggs. That's awkward. But the situation for this one in particular, the 4 eggs are up the top, and then you can go either side to 2 spots for eggs, which is what I kind of half showed there. I kind of half looked at those directions. So you can grab 2 eggs on this one, and then you can grab 2 eggs on the other side, and then you just jump up and you can grab the 4 eggs off the top. For all of the egg ones, there is a more optimal spot to place the egg carrier, but it's not like super necessary. I think it's me just trying to muck around with the orbital laser, as I'm still trying to get used to how to use it effectively, as I'm not a huge fan of Amir in general, let alone the orbital laser. I just think it's weak. It was, when they originally brought Amir out, quite strong, but they got rid of a lot of Amir's strength because he was overpowered, and instead a lot of that strength is now in the carbine rifle. For the same reasons that his grenade launcher was overpowered, the carbine rifle is also overpowered, something to do with the explosive damage. But I'm not the game designer. They can figure out that for themselves, or a balanced designer. Actually, even if they have it, I'm not sure Second Extinction even have a balanced team. From what I've seen of the streams that Second Extinction do, they don't appear to have a balanced team. What you always want to do is, there's that Watcher that I just knocked off. He's always there. Doesn't matter what you're doing. I don't know why I'm shooting that. I can't even hit the dino from that. He is 100% of the time always going to be there. So, shoot him first. That would be my advice. Don't let him put the things up. What I'm doing here is checking if there was the black box. It didn't appear to have any smoke, so that's why I kept running. And then I can just take a couple of quick pot shots to remove the Styratosaurus. That shot was to remove the goo quickly, so it's gone before I get there. It did not work, as you could see. I had to take a second pot shot. With Black Site, it is a really hard mission to get all of the servers for if you're by yourself, especially on Insane, and it's more about survival than it is about actually completing the mission, because it can be a lot harder, because you've got to get 24 servers, and unless you were, I don't imagine that it's possible unless you're playing Ortega solo, but if someone's seen someone do it, I'm more than willing to check that out, because I'd be curious to see whether you could. But on Insane, you only get 3 minutes for 24 servers, and the dinos attacking you is the biggest issue that you're going to face, because a lot of them are flatbacks, and as anyone who's played this game before, they know that flatbacks are the least amount of fun. They are just a bit how you going. So what we have is, I'll put the thumper down to try and draw the aggro, so I've got some easy time to destroy the hollows. What you can do on the hollows is sit on top of them if you really wanted to, and you won't take damage. That can be a little bit cheesy, but it depends whatever works for you. And then I'll use the laser to destroy trash. It doesn't seem to do a huge amount of damage to anything else, but if you use it to get rid of your trash mobs, that's well, that's something at least. Again, I use the SMG as in a way where I can just flog out all the bullets really quick and then just get it to reload for me, which is why Holster Helper I think is one of the best perks in the game. I would think that Holster Helper I would think that Holster Helper and Resourcefulness are two of the best perks you could have on a gun. That Watcher that was up the top of this supply camp is always there. He will always be there unless I believe it's a green zone or a green threat area. There are a few select dino spawns that are there 100% of the time, and knowing where they are can be helpful. So with Black Site, you do have that's not going to show me there yet, but a lot of wait time around different things. Like, you can't skip over parts of it like you can on normal difficulty by just being able to jump, because the lasers that cause some issues are there no matter what. So you might be able to see in a sec. So all of those lasers there, all 5 of them are there, whereas on normal it is not that way. There's only 3, and so you can do a jump to try and avoid having to do this part. However, if you are stuck having to wait out the minute-long timer, you just sit in the doorway, and with the carbine, with the explosive shots, you can just take pot shots every couple of seconds at the door, and it will just remove the dinos for you. So you don't have to be reactive in that sense of waiting for the dinos to come through, because they can rush you. You can just throw your pot shots out and know that you'll hit the dinos, which is what you can see me doing the entire way there. With black site, I will typically go B first, to the B side, which you will see as well. I don't know why I go B side, it's just I run left, I guess. I'm more used to running left than I am running right. With the B side, just around this corner is always a watcher, 100% up there. So you get rid of him quickly, and then you just keep going. Like what Amir just said, get rid of him quickly. So again, similar thing, you just run through and then you can sit in the doorway, and if you take pot shots just as they're running in, you shouldn't have too many get close to you, as I get hit by them getting too close to me. But if you're really in need of the materials, you can obviously run out and grab them. It's a little bit easier for me because I don't need any materials, so I've got no problem just leaving them there. But if you were still just starting out, you'd probably want to gather all the materials you can see. They have since made it easier. It used to only be about 5 seconds that you had. You've now got at least a good 30 to try and gather the materials. So because of, again, a lull, you make sure you heal and reload and gather more ammo. This one has those set of 4 dinos that will always be there when you first open that door, that you can just remove quickly. And there will always be two what are they, flatbacks out here. They won't always be the orange one, not the orange ones, the purple ones, but there's just about always 2 flatbacks, and you want to try and remove them obviously as quickly as possible, as having flatbacks roaming about is actually quite a lot annoying. Quite a lot annoying doesn't make sense, but it's very annoying to have the flatbacks roaming about. In particular the ones with necrosis. But again, you can sit into the doorway, and as always just take the pot shots at the door and use the explosive shots to really remove them, so you don't have to worry too much. Again, explosive shots is the meta for playing, to making the game super easy for yourself. It's a little bit tricky to learn how to fire the gun, because you do have to hold the trigger down, and just wait for a little poof, which can be annoying. But in saying that, it's not the end of the world. It's not the worst way to play the game. Once you get used to it, you can you'll get muscle memory, and the game does get easier. Again, because there are so many dinos, you just kind of throw your shot grenades and just run away. They don't chase you forever, and that's a key part of a lot of this. It's just moving on to the next stage. A big issue people do face is the fact that they try and fight absolutely everything. If you're trying to fight everything, you are going to take more damage and obviously die. The more damage you take, the more likely you are to die. I feel like that's survival 101. Don't take damage, won't die. With the What are they? The servers. I will always start at the back. I probably shouldn't start at the back. I'd probably get more if I started up closer at the front. But if I was playing with people, I'd start at the back, and then I'd have other people start at the front. So I think I typically only ever get out at about 14 or so. You want to remove the hollows as quickly as possible because, well, in particular for this mission, you will get caught out if you let the hollows just keep spawning dinos because you're by yourself, or if you are by yourself in particular, but you'll get yourself caught out if you're not careful because you're in a confined space and having to do the same run backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards. So if you see a hollow, kill a hollow, basically. It's similar to that. If anyone's watched Robots before, the movie, see a need, fill a need, see a hollow, kill a hollow. Robots are one of my favourite movies. Shows some age probably. That's alright. Yeah, I'm not sure what else to really say about the black site other than this is similar to the Vestige, how you just have to run backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards. What I am trying to do is remove the dinos as I go. If I was to see a flatback, I would start on them straight away and try and put myself in a position of strength. That's an unfortunate situation there. Even in more unfortunate situation. Ooh, okay. Well, what you're going to see here is me die, for sure, I imagine. What I will do though is just wait for the server lockdown probably, so I'll wait out this minute or wait a fair amount of this time out because there's no need to keep getting the servers. I don't believe it affects how much research you get, and so what I'm doing now is I'm just waiting out like 30-40 seconds so that as I'm jumping in, I'm just ready to run again. So this is another strategy you can use if you're on your last life, if you're worried about being too low, or worried about running out of lives, which can be the case. And so that way, because it continues to count down, you're actually not so bad off. Like, you're not too bad off. So as I come in, I'm pretty sure it just kind of gets ready to go for the next part. But again, that's a viable strategy to use if you are dying a few times and running the risk of losing your mission. So again, only getting 6, it doesn't actually affect your research too much. I think I'll still get 80 points or so upon exiting. You'll have to keep track of that. I'll have a look too. But yeah, then the rest of it is just gathering research points. So you take pot shots on your way through. You avoid the flatbacks if you can. They're not really worth killing because a flatback is only worth 8 points to kill, and for the amount of effort it takes, it's only 21 points. Maybe you do get more based off how many servers you get. I'll have to investigate that a little bit further. But again, because I don't play with people that often, it's not something I often see, is how many servers I gather. And I'll typically just be running speedruns. So what I would be doing now is heading out towards that drone there, and then probably even completing the Enraged event that was on at the time. Hopefully. Because I'm still 700 points away, it would make sense for me to do the Enraged event. As the Enraged event, like the Emergence events, are worth 112. So if you ever do get a chance to do them, When it was the Mist, which was an event a couple of weeks back, that one each area was worth 48, but there was 3 in the spot, so that still is 112. No, that's alright. 48 is not bad. It was 112 somehow. I'm not sure what it was worth now that I say that. What would 112 be? 112 divided by 3. That doesn't even work. Hey, the Mist wasn't worth 112. That one, the Mist must have been worth just 48 times 3. Which will give you 144. For those of you wanting to do the math. So we'll see how much this does give when it is completed. Just to see whether it's made a liar of me. Yeah, 112. So, who knows? Who knows? It was 112 and that's the main thing. And so I wasn't totally wrong. So 112 being, I think it's 14 times 7. There is the Rex. I'm not sure whether I bother to kill the Rex. A Rex is only worth, I think, 28 or 32. I haven't seen it enough times. Like, I have seen it, but I'm not paying enough attention. I feel like it should be 28. 32 doesn't make sense, but I think I typically kill a dinosaur or 2 with it, and that skews the numbers that you're going to see. So we'll see if I bother to try and fight this Rex. Again, because I'm voice-overing these clips, it does make things a little bit harder, as in remembering what I did or didn't do. In particular if I'm voice-overing a while away. Now, it looks like I do try and fight him. So what I'll always do is the same way, is poison with the carbine, and then shock grenade them to stagger, and then throw the SMG down to get the bonus damage. It looks like he did get himself stuck, like he must have ran out too far and then bugged himself out, which does mean that the fight's a little bit boring. Oh no, he ran back. Okay, maybe I just leave him. I wouldn't bother. Oh no, we do run back, okay. 28. 100% is 28 points. There you go. The more you know. Oh, it looks like I'm totally out of ammo.
Down to my last bag here. I'm completely dry.
Yep. Well, you typically don't want to end up without any ammo. With Amir, I'd at least still have orbital laser to use. But that's why you just run yourself over to an extraction zone, and that will always have unlimited ammo. Which I think is another thing they will end up looking into, whether or not they have unlimited ammo all the time. Because as it currently stands, it does mean that extraction farming is very easy to do. So what we'll be doing now is just repairing this, and then I think I extract here as well. Typically, if you're about 400 points or 300 or 400 points away, extracting in a high threat zone is actually more beneficial, because you'll get all the points that you need in that time. If you are after 2100 points, that is. Which you should be, because it makes no sense not to be. Again, removing the hollows quickly is necessary for your own survival, in particular playing solo. So that's what I'm trying to do now, is just stun the dinos so that I've got enough time to break the hollows without being too worried about the damage they'll be doing to me.
It's important that we keep our extraction points up and running, or we'll be completely cut off from the surface.
So again, using your orbital surveillance will help. Not orbital surveillance, your precision strike will help you on occasion. I do find that it is still a little bit, it's a little bit rough to use, as you will be still getting hit regularly, but you know, it is what it is. The way it currently stands, I don't think it's fantastic, and you'll see lots of those happening with the raptors just going flying, which is still an issue they're having with well, even if you auto attack them, not auto attack them, melee attack them, you can shoot yourself flying. So what I did there is I realized I didn't have enough ammo to kill it, so I went back before showing my face. So yeah, you always want to poison, then just wail on them with the SMG. Very quick death in that regard. And don't sleep on the fact that you can use the butt of your weapon if they're jumping at you. Like, it's very useful in the sense that you'll get an easy hit in, typically, without getting yourself hit. Depending on what key binding you have it on, I have it on my mouse button 4, so it's just one of the mouse buttons next to my thumb, so I can use it easily. I do think that if you're playing this game, you should be setting your key bindings to other ones. I don't particularly like having your ability on E, and so that's why you'll see mine's run on F. Oh, I think I go down here as well, which is a little disappointing. Yeah, no way I get up from that. It's probably, see, that's why you hold on to those lives by playing a little bit smarter. So when I drop back in, I'm just gonna have to kill a few things just to get those points back, because you'll lose 14 points for going down and then a further 28 for needing to respawn. So what you'll see is I'm 53 points off, I believe, from what I just saw. And so then I'm trying my hardest after this to not go down again. Even though I've still got that extra life, going down sucks, and it just puts you behind. Yeah, so yeah, 48, yeah, 52 points needed. Do I use my orbital surveillance? No, I don't. No. So because it's a red zone, I know I only need to get to 60 or 2058, and then I'll get the 42 points from mission completing. And so rather than waste my time getting to 5 stars, or knowing that, or by knowing that makes it a lot easier. So if you're in a green zone, you only get 21 points. And if you are in a red, in an orange zone, you get, I feel like it's only 28, but don't quote me on that. I don't play on hard or normal difficulty enough to know. But that's the end of that, and happy dino hunting to you all.